All right, everyone. 12 o'clock. We are going to start. Welcome back. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to put in the chat. Actually, let me make sure this is right. 1 second. I want you to be able to view, not change. Can view. Great. Okay. Whew. Okay. So I'm going to put in the chat a link for the Google Doc. So if you're on your computer and you want to have your own copy, what I'm asking is you go and I'll actually share my screen and I'll show you. Okay. So we're going to be doing forecasts today. And if you want, you probably have only view edit if you want to go and make a copy and save it to your own Google Drive. For those of you who don't have Google Drives, I highly recommend. My entire business is actually kind of based on Google. I use it for everything. So I think it's the coolest thing ever in terms of what we do. So today we're going to be going over the nitty-gritty in terms of how to build a business forecast for your business. And I think it's one of the most important things to do because most of us have really great ideas and concepts, but either we're afraid of not making enough money and don't do it, or go ahead and do it and in doing so don't have consciousness around money. Now, for all the people with spiritual awareness of money is the root of all evil, I respect your viewpoint and disagree with it. I think money is an extension of us. I think there's a viewpoint that money is energy, and I like that. I like that viewpoint because I've seen in my own personal life how when I am in an expansive, growing, powerful mode, I attract energy. I attract power to me. But when I'm in a contracted, shrunken mode, then money just doesn't tend to show up. Like a lot of times I'll have a drought of client calls. And this drought, can last a week or 2 weeks. And I'm like, what is it? Like, it was flowing just last week. Is it like the full moon, or is it like there's a hex on me? Did I piss off my ex-wife or something? Is she assassinating me? Like all these thoughts are, I blame it externally. And then like, oh yeah, it's probably because usually, to be honest, when I'm not getting clients, it's because I can't handle any more clients, or I need to pay a little more attention to the wife, or I need a little more attention to my self-care, or I need to, sleep more, work out more. And so usually what happens when I get off my fear perch, when I get off, flagellating myself for my fear, when I start to actually look at it, I'm like, oh, there's probably some energetic reason for the clients not coming in. And I've had the good fortune in my life to be in time and time situation where money was scarce, where money was short. I've been in a lot of oh fuck situations in my life. I built an international business that was cash flow negative for 8 years. The first 8 years, we were cash flow negative. And we survived only on the money I had invested, the house I'd sold and put into it. And we had an angel investor who gave us close to $700K in cash to keep things going. But that was a long 8 years. It wasn't like he gave us, all money all the time. A lot of it had to do with being scrappy. And in the being scrappy, I learned the very important skill of there's a solution to this problem. Let's all say that, even though you're all muted. Just say it to yourself. There's a solution to the problem. And that solution might not be fun. That solution might suck. That might mean selling a family heirloom, or selling the car, or stop drinking Starbucks, spending, $47 a day at Starbucks. Like, it could mean something as simple as that. Like, if you want to look at your budget, to me, my Morgan, who I talk about extensively, and I have permission to talk about, though she doesn't like it all the time, but Morgan loves to shop at this place called Erewhon. Erewhon, for those in Los Angeles, is like the prettiest supermarket I've ever seen in my entire life. There's one in New York. I can't remember, like, what's the name of it? That's high end, but Erewhon is like, it's pretty. It like smells good. It's got the 80s rock and roll. It's got everything lined up. Everything is organic, and it costs a freaking fortune, right? So the adjustment when Morgan and I have been working on our budget is, okay, let's go to Erewhon once a week and go to Whole Foods, Sprouts, and Albertsons appropriately. And then we watched our monthly food bill cut by about 15% with this one small adjustment. When you have a wife that likes to eat good food and 2 kids, 15% is a significant number. So my point is that there's always a solution to the problem. You might not like the solution, but if you sit in the place of no solution when dealing with money, you're screwed. Because guess what? You're in fear. Your fight or flight is activated. You have no presence. You have no clarity of mind. And you're basically sitting and spinning around, causing problems. So we got into conversation about money. Anyway, the way it is, the way it is. So the point is that to me, money is a tool. Money is energy. And what we're going to do with 3 people today, Elsa, Phoenix, and Mark, is we'll spend about 15 minutes each to start their forecast. So this is something you see, you have all access to, and I'll put this in the group as well if you're watching the replay. Like, this is a Google Doc that you have view only, access only, and you can make a copy and do this as many times as you want. Like, it's really designed for each of you to work with it and come up with your money. Okay. So let's just start and let's see what happens. So I see Phoenix, and I'm going to start with you. Hello, love.
Hi, babe.
How are you?
Good. Looking at this feels like looking at a whole other language and almost makes me want to cry.
Okay. Well, good. Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. I love when people cry, especially in workshops. Okay. So I'm going to write down the time so we keep to a strict 15 minutes. So how about this? How about we don't have a specific goal in these 15 minutes except for you to get a little more insight around your money.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not looking for anything completed. We're looking at just a way to give you some tools that you can take this and go ahead. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So let me make a copy to start off with. Okay, everyone can still see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so you have your own, and I'll make sure you have access to this until you can edit it. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is, the way this is set up is you have revenue,
mm-hmm.
which is the money you make, the products you sell. You then have expenses. You have 2 types. You have cost of, sorry, my dyslexia there. Anyway, cost of goods sold, I'll fix that in a bit. For product 1, how much it costs to make each product, and then some basic expenses, and then I just created some default expenses.
Mm-hmm.
When we fill out our expectations for the year, that'll change the numbers here, which will change the numbers here, and everything hopefully will look pretty, and we'll have a forecast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the basic concept.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just start basic. In 2019, what do you want to sell? What's the first product?
Probably the alchemy course.
Okay. Okay. And then you just had that. What do you sell that for?
$800.
Okay. And then how many did you pay in, how many people paid full price?
6 paid full price.
Okay. Great.
And then 2 had partial scholarship.
Okay. I got to move this over a little bit for me because my camera's right in the way. Okay. So let's say this full price.
That was alchemy group course, full price. Because I do a private alchemy course as well.
So this is alchemy partial.
Hmm.
And how many was that? How much did you charge for that?
It depends, like 400 to 600 usually, depending on the individual. So maybe say 5 as an average.
Okay. And 2 people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's take a look. So far, her revenue for the year, just with this, is $5,800. Okay.
Is that, how does that, oh, right. Yeah, I got you. Cool.
Okay.
Oh.
This times this times this.
Mhm.
Woo! Math is fun. Okay. All right. So do you want to run this course again?
Yes.
When do you plan to collect the money for it?
For the next round would be probably May, most likely.
Okay. Okay. And then based on your expectations, how many people do you want? This is a conservative optimism, a grounded optimism.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you want in full price?
10.
Okay. And how many partial?
I would be willing to do 3 at partial.
Okay. Do you want to run it again?
Yes.
When do you want to do that?
August.
Okay. Just remember, August is the worst time to run anything.
Let's do September then, because I have a
Yes.
bit in August too.
Yeah. Just know, Burning Man, especially for the people on this call, don't try to sell anything in August. Mid-September is the start date. Trust me. Okay. So the rule is August sucks and December sucks. Okay. You can sell stuff for the first week of December and then you're done until the second week of January. Okay. Just a little tidbit. All right. Grounded optimism. What do you think about September?
My hope is once I've gotten up to that point that I'm probably going to up the price.
Great. What's that?
And so I would like to have 10 full paid people at $1,100.
Woohoo. Big money. How many partial?
I would do another 3 partial, and let's keep it at 500 for that.
Okay, cool. All right. So you can go and you can see what your total is for the year. You can go in and fill out these different pieces of the puzzle. Okay. So
yeah, I really like that.
yeah. So it's all geeky and design. So if you look at your money, you have nice money in. This is how much you're making per year. That's your average per month.
Mm-hmm.
So based on being alive in the 21st century, that's below poverty level.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't even gotten to our expenses yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you have more things to put into your product list for 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And for time's sake, I'm going to let you fill out on your own. But I just want you to know, this is the way it works as you fill out this information.
Awesome.
Okay. Does it cost anything to produce per person in terms of alchemy? Or is it just you and your time and a Zoom channel?
Me, my time, and my Zoom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So let's just say for the full price, if you wanted to put in like a workbook or print a workbook and that's $15,
mm-hmm.
This is designed, and there's a bug. I already see a bug. But anyway, this is designed to get you to have a product, to have a cost of goods sold as an expense, though it didn't work. So skip that. All right. Let's keep going with your expenses. What other expenses do you have in your business? Do you have marketing costs?
Not right now. No.
Okay. Do you have, and this is not just for the alchemy in general, do you have rent?
I do have rent. I have my home rent, and then I have the temple and the office space all here on the same.
Okay. So do you differentiate them in your mind?
No.
Okay. So what's your temple rent?
$1,750.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we're already seeing Phoenix's life is looking challenging because between the income and the rent, she's got $567 left to live her life. Now, again, I know we're going to add more products and make more income, but this is the way it goes. So you can do this for each of the different pieces. So do you have any travel expenses connected to your business?
I haven't done, but I will have coming up shortly.
Okay. What do you forecast? What do you see in the future?
Gosh, for how much that might be?
Yeah. And again, grounded optimism.
Crap. Well, I mean, April, I'm going on the road for a month.
Okay.
So
15,
expenses for that.
2,000? 1,500? Okay.
1,500?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know at this point.
Okay.
And I mean, there's also going to be venue rentals that come in there as well.
Great.
But I don't have the costs on that right now.
Okay. So you can put venue rental here.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say that's another $750.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is you can go in and all these numbers here are ones you can fill out. And they'll extrapolate over to your. I think I have an extra column. That's fine. So then we're seeing, even though you're making 27, you're up to 2,350. You're now down to $379 per month of take-home salary. Yeah. So again, the idea is to bring awareness to your business and to know, all right, I've got to hustle. I've got to make money. I've got to actually continue to build more income. And the most powerful thing you can do about this is to put everything you can into the spreadsheet. Think about all your fees. And then in here, this important piece here is how much you want to take home per month. So 2,000 is your living expenses.
Right. After food, rent, all of that stuff.
Well, after all your business expenses. So, if you look at this is your business income, this is your business expenses, this is your net income, this is what you need to live on, your minimum monthly salary, then you're in deficit for the year, $1,600 per month. In other words, trouble. But, good luck. Luckily you have your one-on-one coaching and you're going to have a $100,000 client in there. Oh, everything turns out better. Wait, grounded optimism. Okay. $10,000. Okay. But, in other words, you can play. The whole idea is this is designed to show you what your net income is, what your monthly salary is, and how much you're short, so you can start to make educated decisions about your expenses.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to geek out on this.
Okay. So we got 3 minutes left for you.
You were talking about there was a bug in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Knowing I'm not that good with technology, I'm wondering what can be done about that bug.
I'll fix it.
Okay.
I'll fix it after the call. It'll just take a second. I know where it is.
Cool.
Yeah. It's the problem with live presenting on spreadsheets you just did today.
Right.
You get lots of live demonstrations of your bugs. Okay, so let's use the last 2 minutes. So where else do you actually want to make money?
One-to-one coaching.
Okay. What's your goal per month of one-to-one coaching?
I would like to have 6 regular clients per month.
Okay. Starting when?
Let's put it in April. Actually, let's put it in May because I'm on the road for April.
Okay, cool. So 6, and what's your average you charge a client?
It's between 22 to 35, probably. It depends on which program they do.
Okay, so let's just put 2,800 in the middle. Now, this is how much money you're going to get per month. So if you have 6 clients, is that a per month or is that like a 3-month program?
So that's not per month. So realistically, it's probably going to be more like $600 per month.
Great. Okay. So then you can take this, copy it over, which impacts everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, all right, by September, like look at this number here. Actually, your net income, $27.79 per month. If you increase this to $750, all of a sudden the impact of that per month is significant.
Increase what to $750?
So I took the coaching. You were at $600 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you start to up level, or maybe this is a 2020 thing, but as soon as you start to up level one number, everything changes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good start?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. All right. Before we go to Mark, I'm going to check the chat. Make sure there's no questions. I don't want to go too fast. Is it doing in May or getting paid in May? This is a cash-in forecast, Stephen. So money has to be when you're receiving. There's two different types to do accounting. Something's called accrual, is basically when you do the work. This is actually a cash, so this is a cash in. Brilliant advice. Such a hot spreadsheet. I love when hot and spreadsheet are in the same sentence. I just think that's always a good thing. Someone's fun. You get a copy. Yes. Don't take the copy until I fix the bug, though, please. Not be able to. Ava is not able to hear anything. Loving this. Okay, cool. Thank you, Stephen, for helping Ava. All right. So thank you, Phoenix. Thanks for being our first guinea pig.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's bring Mark on the line. Hey, buddy.
I just want to start by saying that the alchemy of this is so awesome because 5 minutes after we started, I got a text with a referral for a client.
Yoo-hoo! Energy, 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 energy. I'm so glad for you, brother. You deserve it. You're a good man.
Well, I still have to close them, but hey.
Hey, it's a start.
That's right.
Okay. I'm just looking at my expenses for a second. 600. No, that looks right. 80. Maybe there's not a bug. All right, I'll check it. All right. Let's make your copy, sir. All right. So, 15 minutes. How can we best serve you?
Well, my main area right now is around client acquisition.
Okay.
Which energetically we started that.
Okay.
I have some goals. I did some coaching at the beginning of the year, and I have my pricing set up.
Okay.
But I really only have one product that's available now,
Okay.
and I'm in development on a second product.
All right. Do you want to name that product? Do you want to call it Product X?
So product one is one-to-one coaching with me.
Okay. What's product two?
It's going to be a seminar or a weekend seminar with another coach.
Great. Let's put that in there.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know what your average revenue per gig would be?
Well, I break it out in monthly.
Okay.
And I have, I'm taking a ramp. So there was nothing in January.
Okay.
February, I'm going to close this client for 500 today.
Yoo-hoo. Okay.
That's one.
Okay.
My ramp is to have 3 more of those clients by March 1st, but there's a progression there. So we're going to go with, it's tricky because the way the ramp's structured is the next client's a different price, et cetera, et cetera.
So you could do, if you want to, you can do either average or, oops. You could do a different level.
Got it.
So you'll have, yeah, go ahead.
So in March, I want to have 3 more clients, not 4. And there's going to be a progression. The next two are a different price than this current one, but I think I can fill that out.
Okay. So let's just demonstrate this. So if you have one more at, say, 750.
Yeah.
And then you can fill out 3 and 4 if you want. Okay. So
Yeah.
continuing this over at this level.
So,
yep.
Well, there's a different ramp. So by the time we get to June, I want to have total of 3 more clients. And they start at the full price of $1,500 per month.
Nice. Now we're making some money.
And then in July, I'm at a total of 9 clients at that rate.
Okay.
Those are my goals. That's my expectation.
Okay, great. All right. So this is yours. You can play with it and the details of it. And you can see you've got, your revenue. You're getting close to 100K this year.
The goal is 120K.
Okay. You can tweak as needed.
Yep.
So tell me about your weekend workshop. When do you want to teach that?
I've been discussing it with another coach. I'd like to do it in June, right after school gets out, because it's parents and couples.
Okay.
So we're thinking they're not going to be able to get away for the weekend as easily until their kids are out of school.
Okay.
But
God bless summer camp.
It's really in the beginning stages. So, and what I would say, what I want to clear from that weekend is $5,000 for myself.
Okay. So total 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do you think your price will be close to? 500, 750?
Per couple?
Yeah.
It's undefined right now, but I'm thinking it's 10 couples max, and I'm splitting that with 3 other coaches. And so I haven't really worked out the pricing structure on that, but mine's 5,000. So let's say 15,000 total for the weekend.
Okay. Okay. So that's 1,500 per couple if you're going for 10 couples. Okay. So you can play with these numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here I want to use you to demonstrate this other piece is think about in terms of cash. So if you're not going to enroll everyone on all in June, let's say you do 8 in May and 7 in June to get
for
to
this
15.
For this workshop product.
Right. Okay.
Do you want to work that on my?
You're here.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna use you to demonstrate the magic of spreadsheets. So if you look at this piece, you have 15 and your gross average is above 118, but you're actually
not looking at my sheet anymore.
Oh, I see. Hold on a second. I see what I did. How's that?
Yep.
Yep. Sorry. Okay. So 8 and 7 at 1,500. That's the total money in.
Got it.
Either you can put 5,000 here of your cut, or what you can do is it says it costs you 10,000 per person as your cost of goods sold.
So my total revenue for that is 5K. Okay. So we're not per couple.
Okay. Got it.
We want to make it as accessible as we can.
Okay, 1,500. Okay. And then the cost, because you're paying the other guys, is 1,000. The cost of goods sold for that.
Yeah, I see where you're going, and the structure we're making for that is going to look a little different than the way we got it set up. But I see how you can play with it. If I put 5 clients in at 1,500 for me and 5 clients in June, that gives me my total revenue.
Yep.
The outlay that I'm going to have there, since I'm going to net 5K, I'm going to put those outlay numbers into my expenses here, and that's going to be facility rentals, et cetera, but I'm not going to count what I pay the other coaches, because we're going to be partners, not me paying them.
Great. Yep. So you can work that out. You got the math behind it.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. What about your other expenses for your business?
Well, my phone's $160 a month.
Okay, put that in there.
My office is $200 as rent.
Okay.
I don't have any travel. My utilities right now are $250 average per month.
And you can see these extrapolate over to your expenses. So just based on that, your expenses are $73.20. This includes the outlay for the course. So let's simplify this. Let's just make this your portion of 500. So right now, you're pulling in 103 for the year. Your expenses are 73. Your average per month is actually close to $8,000 at the moment.
Well, that's my projection. What my actual is right now is zero.
That's a great point and important to bring up. So the forecast is a work of fiction. Just like you write a book, it's this is your belief of where you're going. And you can either keep these in your head, which most people do with hypothesis and ideas and concepts. What this does, it gets it down on paper. And I'd rather you create a total ridiculous work of fiction that informs rather than keep it inside your head.
I agree. I love this because I'm going to actualize the goals as they come up, or I'm going to revise the figures as the month goes by.
Yep.
And that's going to change what my income output is and what my expenses and nets are all going to be. So I'm going to have the ability to interact with this document that gives me real-time feedback about how I'm performing against my goals.
Exactly. And that's the idea.
This is brilliant. It's better than the one I grabbed. I grabbed one off of Google Docs, but this is far superior.
Cool.
I'm really grateful for this.
I'm so glad.
How much time do I have?
You got 5 minutes.
So I put $150 down on Facebook advertising for a Valentine's special I ran in my coaching project. And I got 2 people who basically bit and didn't sign.
Okay.
That was $150 in revenue expenses right there in marketing. Yep. And I'm sort of wondering, right now, my budget for my business, my cushion is $3,500 or $35,000 in the bank.
Okay.
I want to end the year with $200,000 in savings, and I don't want to go through that $35,000. I want to build on it. So I need help marketing the business. That's my next fall, is how do I put myself out there? So right now I'm in person showing up at events and networking events.
Yep.
I've done work to identify who my key client is, my ideal client. And so I'm going to go to a gaming convention in March. So I'm going to put the cost of that ticket into my expenses.
Great.
So I guess it's really just, what's an effective marketing strategy for someone who does personal coaching and wants to teach young men, especially, and men, how to be more connectable to their partners?
Well, first and foremost, it's not Facebook marketing.
Okay. That was obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I know enough about Facebook marketing to be dangerous. Next week, Aries, who's on the line, is going to come on and talk about marketing and branding. So she'll have some definite ideas about this.
Beautiful.
But Facebook marketing is a mastery that takes time. And if you don't have mastery, you're basically throwing money away. And your number of $75 per lead acquisition is actually the one I use in my mind. $50 to $75 to get a lead. So if you have a product you're trying to sell for $40 and you're trying to use Facebook marketing to sell, you're going to lose money because you're going to spend $75 to get someone to buy your product if you're lucky.
Got it.
So my quick viewpoints about marketing is relationships. Word of mouth is always the best. In other words, get out there and give shit away for free.
Okay.
Get out there and do some tests. get your name out there, give away, like just go out there. And if you're just starting from scratch, it's like really just get out there and build your confidence is the same. And the second big thing I'm keen on that I do a lot of is podcast interviews.
Right. I see that.
Yeah. I've done over 100 podcast interviews and I get a lot of business, not a lot, but I definitely have a positive ROI because I pay a podcast agent to get me more gigs. And I already have a positive ROI from that. And I learn a lot. So I think podcast, public speaking, and really getting out there on Facebook and interacting on Facebook rather than Facebook ads.
All right. So those are my areas of research: podcast, public speaking, and then what was the third one?
Being on Facebook and connecting. Not connecting for sales, but connecting for interactions and relationships.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do a bunch of self-care where I'm going to be going to a Chinese herbalist and I'm upping my game in the gym. I'm going to do a blog off my website and just be vulnerable and share with people that this is my journey right now.
Great.
Awesome.
Great. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for this course.
Okay, my pleasure. It's been fun. And then Aries, I'm sure will have some magic for us next week on marketing. So I'm looking forward to that show. All right. Let me see if there's any questions. Aries is giving the geeky math stuff around accrual. Please post. I will put, yes, Chris, I will post a note on the Facebook group and repost it. So let me make sure my spreadsheet's solid before you copy it. Don't waste your time. Okay. All right. Let's get Elsa on the phone.
Hi.
Hiya. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well. It's nice to see you.
You too.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Tell us about your life.
Okay. So my first product is one-off sessions, in-person or remote. They're 90 minutes and they're $250. Just a single session.
Okay. And then in terms of sales, how many would you like to do this year on that product?
12 a month.
Okay. Do you want to start it? Would you want to end at 12? You want, like, give me the numbers. How many have you done in January?
8? Yeah, something like 8. Can we come back to how many? Because it also depends on the programs and how much time I want to spend on it.
Okay, good. Great.
Probably not that many, actually. Okay, so product 2.
Yeah.
One-on-one coaching containers by the month. So it's like 3 to 6 month containers where it's a monthly fee.
Okay. What's that cost?
$1,000.
Finding my camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else you got?
So I have 2 right now, and then I want to up it, and I also want some higher price containers later on too.
Okay.
And then the third product is something I'm like birthing, and have never done something of this scale before. So this is kind of my dream thing, but I'm doing a lot to prepare for it. So it's a 6-month group program with 2 in-person retreats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I give you some feedback?
Yeah.
Do you feel the way you said that? I felt like I was dealing with my 10-year-old trying to get me to get her an ice cream cone. Right? How about I'm doing a 6-month program, 6-month group program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to do a 6-month group program starting in May.
Wow. Awesome. Okay. What's that cost?
$10,000 each.
Nice. Okay. So again, you can say how many you're going to sell in April and May. You can even do, to get a really more accurate. It's not when you're producing it; it's when you're selling it. It's money in the bank. So let's say you sell 1 here, and 2 here, and 4 here, whatever. That'll give you more accurate numbers.
Cool.
All right. So when you fill in your group coaching, your number will come up, and then let me get rid of this. Okay. So, anything else on the products?
Those are the main things. I'll be happy if I have those three with
Great.
increasing prices.
Okay. Perfect. I think it's great. I think it's great to set yourself up with things you feel comfortable with and stretched at the same time.
Yeah. And like, I don't know if I'll have extra time. If I did, I would want to create automated courses and probably not have much income this year for it, but I would create that.
Okay. So this is money in this year.
Okay.
So there's a strategic plan. Like I'm constantly looking for the next 2 years of when I'm doing what and readjusting as the year goes on. But it's really, this is a cash forecast. So just the money in.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. Do you want to talk about any of your expenses?
Sure. Phone is $80. Rent is $1,800. Rent could be a bit more. Sometimes I rent venue spaces if I'm traveling to give sessions. So maybe
Okay.
like $2,000.
$2,000 a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say travel is $500 a month.
Okay. And just so you know, the model's built so you can do, heavy in May. Like you can change any of these numbers per month. And what this is going to show, really, and I think I might have to do a separate video. I might have to do like a video going over this completely, is your cash flow, which is the most important thing in terms of how much cash you have in the bank, but to be determined.
Steve asked, are you including personal rent in the rents? I am, yes.
Okay.
Personal rent.
So it's better, good catch, Stephen, is what is your business rent? It's better to, from an IRS point of view and also from a psychic point of view, to figure out what your business expenses are and what your personal expenses are. So do you want to revise this?
Yeah. $300 a month if it's just business.
Okay, great. Okay. The way this works then is you can actually get an accurate read of what your net income is. And then if you live in Los Angeles, so, your personal rent is high, then your minimum salary is $4,000, and you can start to see, all right, based on this plan, I'm actually at a little bit of surplus. But we haven't, is that enough for food and healthcare and all the things you need in your personal life? So definitely separate business and personal.
Yeah.
How about marketing? Any marketing fees?
Not yet.
Okay, great. So, yeah.
Insurance is like $500 a year.
Okay.
So
do you pay that monthly or do you pay that annually?
Annually.
Okay. Do you know what month it is?
No, I don't know.
I'll just put in August and you can move it.
Cool.
Okay, and then any other expenses for your business? Like, do you still do massages or still oils, or there's still anything on that degree?
I do body work, but there's no oils.
Okay.
When I do that program, there will be expenses. There'll be probably like 8,000 expenses for that.
Okay, like just name one expense for the program.
One expense would be housing for the retreats.
Great. Okay, so the way, again, to design this is you can have these expenses here, and they show up on your P&L over here. So when you do the retreats are in May, right? So
one of them is in May and the other one is 6 months later.
Okay, so let's do this one first. So how much do you estimate in terms of retreat cost, housing cost?
I don't actually know. Let's go with 2,000.
Great.
Idea with a margin.
So that, of course, impacts your bottom line. And let's say you want to do this again 6 months later. You can just copy that and go to September and do it over here. So the numbers show up here, and then you can do again the housing retreat in September, or let's say October 2000.
Yeah, in this case, they would just pay once, but I would pay twice.
Okay, I see.
Mhm.
So is the income here too, or this is, oh, I see.
That's the only income for that program.
Got it. Excuse me. Okay, so they would pay once, and you would
Mhm.
pay 2000 twice, here and here.
Yeah.
And that would show up on your expenses.
Cool. I would also pay like guest teachers and additional resources.
Okay, great. So guest teachers. What budget do you want to do for each weekend? 500? How much? 5?
500. Let's go with that. 700 for the second one.
Okay, great. I'm available, by the way, for guest teacher slots. So if anyone's wondering, Elsa, anyone else ready, available? So again, everything you want to put everything you think, grounded optimism, right? Because you want to be able, you don't want this pie in the sky. You want to have some consciousness around it. And so, the 1500 that we saw before is now shrinking in terms of expenses. So it was 5,300 here, and now it's 47 with adding the guest teachers. And so the ability to get all these pieces down and out of your head onto paper will have you make conscious business decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really, I can't stress this enough, to get the mystery or the unconsciousness out of your head onto paper can make your whole year better. And let's say you think about doing this program, and all of a sudden, there's the lion tamer in there that we need for the program, and that's a $7,500 fee. Well, guess what? That's going to mess up everything in terms of fees. So either then you have to charge more for this, or you have to nix the lion trick as part of the retreat and take that out of your marketing.
Yeah. Cool. I realize I have more expenses.
Okay.
You have to up the income.
Great. That's the whole point. So thank you for saying that, because I know for myself, I put myself in a lot of situations where I'm like, it'll work out, and it doesn't work out. Like I did a communication course in September, and I had high expectations of the enrollment, and the enrollment was not as good as expected. So then I did a bunch of free, which is great. And then I had a videographer there, and I had a photographer there. And even though I got the benefit of those assets, the program actually ended up costing me money. Now, if I would have been a little more, it's the first time I ran a comm course by myself in my life, actually. So it was a great learning experience. There's no negativity inside of myself. But now when I'm running this next one in March, I have the information to put in the forecast, so there's more awareness. Sometimes you got to step on the needle to find it in the haystack, is the point. Okay. Anything else I can serve you with, my love?
I think that's it. Are you going to explain to us the distribution part, or not in this?
No, I'm glad to. Yeah. So let me create a different model. All right. So one-on-one coaching, because I'm such a rock star, and I'm doing 10 clients at $5,000 a client. Yeah, right. Every other month. I'm making $300,000 a year. Okay. And then I have these expenses that came from the model, and then my net income is $21,000 a month. Yoo-hoo! Nope, I'm not. I'm gonna have to fix this. This is something in the bug. I will explain the distribution. The idea behind the distribution basically is showing after you've saved money, how much you need to hold for taxes, how much saving, how much requirements. It's the split of the surplus. But this is not working. So let me fix it, and I'll do a quick video and pop it on the Facebook channel to go over this. Sorry. Get this clean. Cool. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's great. I assume we'll all have access to this sheet.
Yeah. So let me get this thing 100% solid now that I've tested it with you, and then we'll have a clean spreadsheet that you all can play with. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, love. All right. Let's go look at questions, and then we should have some time. Stephen asked about the rent. Ari says, if you don't have separate business and personal accounts, I highly recommend first thing to do. It makes tax time so much easier to track sales, and as you scale, keep everything organized. Really good point from Aries. And so what she means is a lot of us have one checking account where we dump, or one PayPal account where we dump all our business and all our expenses. And guess what? When it comes to figuring out your taxes at the end of the year, it's challenging. The IRS wants to know how much money you made, how much you spent to run your business, and what your net income is. And if you have one personal account where you're buying your dog food and buying your Starbucks and all your other things that are non-business expense, let's say at the end of the year, you've got 12 months to figure it out. So it's really important to separate this. And so just go to your bank. I found out you don't even need a banking, the notification from the business, from the IRS, from the state government to get a business account. So go check out your local bank to see if they have business accounts, or you can just get a second personal account and a personal second PayPal account. It's a little more challenging, but it's really important to have the difference. Steve also asked, have you got a personal expense page on the spreadsheet? The answer is no. I actually use Quicken for personal and then create spreadsheets around that. So that's out of scale of this particular task. Una says, I'm available to guest teach spots. So also you got a big, you can interview us, have like the bachelor sort of thing where we can get to be on your course. That'll be fun. Insurance is for body workers. Mark said this is so awesome. Thank you. Steve, also, make sure you look at the actual cash flow of running a retreat. Do you have to pay for the venue 2 to 3 months ahead of time, possibly even before everyone is signed up? Yes. Great point, Stephen. So what he's talking about is, like, I have a client who's doing a retreat in Phoenix, and it's going to be a $15,000 venue fee plus like a $18,000 for her staff, videographers and staffing, and she's got to pay for that before she even starts enrolling. So that's a cash outlay. Let's just say of $4,000 or $5,000 she'll need to make to book the venue to start selling it. So it's important to put that into your forecast. So for Elsa, we had this $2,000 here in May. It might actually be a deposit here of $1,000 and $1,000 here. So for cash flow, very important. Let's see, paying in advance. Further up, I have a question about accounting for time. Okay, sorry, Chris, I missed that. Okay, how do you account for your time separately so you don't oversell yourself if you're collecting, selling up front? Yes, it's a great question. If you're doing that, spending time. Okay, great. This is a great question. So my perception of Chris's question is, let's say you sell a program for $10,000 and you get that money in March, but then you're doing services for the next 6 months. And by July, you're pissed off because you're spending all this time. You've already spent the $10,000. How do you set limits in terms of forecasting? So the best way to do this is to figure out what that $10,000 gets the client. To not just say $10,000, you have whatever you need for 6 months, is for this $10,000, these are the amount of hours is available. This is what my bottom lines are for me to feel like I'm providing value for the course. So it's really, it takes some forward thinking. It's, again, not just throwing up the number 10,000, but doing the work to understand what services you'll be providing for that money. And then Chris is talking, oh, these are great questions, Chris. Chris then said, sure, that's not full time, but it may affect other monthly availability for one-on-one or one-off things. So if you overpromise on your $10,000 you sold in March, by June, you might be so busy, you might not have the opportunity to sell one-on-one or one-off coaching. This is what's called opportunity cost. It's where your attention and energy is. Where does it cost? So if I'm saying yes to a 10,000, could I make 20,000 doing one-on-ones with the same amount of time and energy? Or can I make 4,000 with one-on-one with the same amount of time and energy? The opportunity cost for the first one is you're losing 10,000, and the second one is you're gaining 6,000. So again, it's hard when you're just starting off. It's hard to figure these things out. I want to just make sure you understand that. And at the same time, over time and practice, as you make mistakes, as you learn things, you start to firm up the appropriate energy for the appropriate price. Let's see. Aries is talking about banks, like amazing, hopping off by Michelle. And Chris wrote again, not just that, how do I make sure I don't overbook my time with the ongoing commitment? Exactly. How do you plan to make sure that you don't overcommit? And there's a way to plan hours in the final spreadsheet. That's an upgrade that's possible. Let me see what I can do about that. First, I want to make sure the spreadsheet is solid. Whew. Okay. Everyone a little cooked? That was a lot of math. Got some thumbs up, got some nods, a little cooked. Okay. And so good. Thank you so much. Okay. So great. Well, thank you all for coming. I hope it's of value. I'm going to get this video recording up. I also want to improve the spreadsheet, so I'll post that on the Facebook group when it's ready. And hopefully this added value to all of you. So next week, we're back with a guest star. Aries will be talking about marketing and branding. And please ask more questions in the Facebook group. Thank you so much, Phoenix, Mark, and Elsa, for being our guinea pigs for my spreadsheet. And I think that's about it for today. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the Facebook group.